Assumptions Kill. Reacher Season 3 explains the origin of Jack Reacher's famous rule. Reacher Season 3's Episode 4 not only reveals the origins of one of Jack Reacher's most iconic rules, but also highlights why he always diligently follows it. Since Season 1, the Amazon Prime Video detective series has established that Jack Reacher follows a fixed set of principles and rules that guide his actions and moral compass. He finds order and certainty even during the most chaotic and dangerous situations because his rules help him determine his next course of action. Although he follows a long set of rules, there is one that he keeps repeating almost throughout Seasons 2 and 3. In an investigation, assumptions kill. Till Season 2, it was hard not to believe that Reacher came up with that rule based on his previous investigative endeavors. However, by delving into Reacher's military backstory, Season 3 finally confirms where he gets that rule from and why he never dares to break it. Reacher Season 3, Episode 4 reveals, Assumptions Kill came from Garber. When Reacher and Cole begin their investigation into Quinn's case in Season 3's Episode 4, Reacher does his best to equip Cole with everything he has learned over the years. He even repeats his iconic Season 2 line, Assumptions Kill, reminding Cole that she must rely on facts and certainties instead of jumping to conclusions. Cole, too, agrees with him and acknowledges that it is a good rule. In response, Reacher reveals that he learned the rule from Leon Garber, his senior officer from the military police. As the episode progresses, it becomes evident that Jack Reacher has learned a lot from Garber. For instance, when he realizes the truth about Cole's abduction in Reacher Season 3's Episode 4, Garber reminds him how he taught him to never get distracted from the job at hand. When Reacher later tells him that he will kill Quinn once he finds him, Garber asks him to do it once, do it right. Reacher and Garber's interactions in Season 3 make it evident that the Alan Ritchson character looks up to Garber, explaining why he diligently follows the Assumptions Kill rule. Quinn's return proves Reacher's Assumptions Kill rule is right. Reacher Season 3 Episode 4's flashback reveals that when Jack Reacher first caught Quinn, Quinn tried to trick him by claiming that Cole was secretly working with him. Although Reacher trusted Cole, he gave Quinn the benefit of the doubt because assumptions kill. To test whether he was lying, he asked him what Cole's first name was. After failing to answer Reacher's question, Quinn proved that he was lying about his relationship with Cole, which helped Reacher kill all assumptions. Reacher seems to do everything right in the flashback, but ends up assuming that Quinn is dead after he shoots him in the head. This assumption costs him dearly because he later learns that Quinn somehow survived. He realizes that his bullet might have gotten lodged in Quinn's skull instead of reaching his brain, which might have helped him survive. His survival serves as a stark reminder for the Alan Ritchson character in Reacher Season 3 that making assumptions can, indeed, lead to disastrous consequences in a criminal investigation. Since the first moments Jack Reacher strode across the screen with his steely gaze and no-nonsense attitude, one phrase has echoed through his investigations and confrontations alike: assumptions kill. It's a mantra that's become synonymous with Lee Child's indelible hero, a terse, hard-earned principle that Reacher fans know has saved lives time and again. But while the rule has always been part of Reacher's personal code, Reacher Season 3 finally cracks open the door to its origin story, revealing not just where the rule came from, but why it governs everything Jack Reacher does. Based on Persuader, the seventh novel in Child's best-selling series, Reacher Season 3 plunges viewers deeper into Reacher's past than ever before, into the raw nerve endings of the man before the myth. Though the show's first two seasons gave us tantalizing glimpses of Reacher's military police career and formative upbringing as an army brat, this season unspools a critical chapter: one fatal mission gone sideways, one costly miscalculation, and the brutal lesson that burned itself into Reacher's psyche forever. The mission that shaped the man. Season 3 centers around Reacher's covert attempt to bring down Francis Xavier Quinn, a ruthless arms dealer and human trafficker. Years earlier, Reacher's investigation into Quinn fell apart in a disastrous ambush that led to the death of Dominique Cole, one of his most promising young subordinates. Dominique's death, as dramatized in flashbacks scattered across the season, is portrayed with unflinching starkness. Reacher had assumed Quinn's men would stick to a predictable pattern. He had assumed their surveillance net was narrower than it was. He had assumed Dominique was far enough out of harm's way. Every assumption stacked up like dominoes until they toppled. Dominique was captured and killed, and Reacher was left with blood on his hands and a hardwired resolve to never assume anything again. Alan Ritchson, returning to the role with his usual mix of gravitas and physical presence, delivers some of the most layered performances of the series so far as Reacher confronts ghosts of the past. His scenes with Cole, played by rising star Rachel Shenton, aren't just functional exposition, but textured moments that show Reacher mentoring a younger MP officer, perhaps one of the few times he allowed himself to trust fully in a comrade's abilities. That trust, and the blind spots that came with it, would cost him dearly. Assumptions kill is more than a catchphrase, it's trauma. In the Reacher novels, Reacher's assumptions kill rule is often deployed pragmatically, a quiet internal reminder to check facts, stay sharp, and never underestimate an opponent. Season 3 recontextualizes that mantra. It's no longer just a tactical guideline, but a scar. The show smartly uses non-linear storytelling to understand this. Flashbacks intercut with Reacher's present-day infiltration of Quinn's operations, mirroring how unresolved trauma haunts decision-making. Scenes of Dominique's fatal mission bleed into Reacher's present-day maneuvers, as he painstakingly avoids repeating the same errors, checking blind spots, double-confirming intelligence, and even appearing overly cautious to allies like DEA agent Susan Duffy, portrayed with sharp wit and resolve by Maria Sten. In doing so, Reacher Season 3 suggests that Reacher's most famous rule is less about tactical brilliance and more about penance. It's an anchor that keeps him grounded and perhaps, at times, isolated. Fans of the books will recognize the deeper layers. For longtime readers of Lee Child's novels, this expanded look at Dominique Cole will ring familiar. In Bad Luck and Trouble Book #11, Reacher reflects on Dominique's death as one of the major regrets of his career. The show's decision to weave those retrospective insights earlier into the television timeline not only enriches Reacher's character, but also deepens appreciation for his lone wolf tendencies in later storylines. It also subtly reframes familiar Reacher quirks. His compulsive habit of scanning exits, his insistence on redundancies, and his reluctance to form attachments, all of them gain new resonance when viewed through the lens of Dominique's loss. What previously seemed like quirks or just classic Reacher paranoia now pulse with emotional undercurrents. He's not just a man who distrusts assumptions, he's a man who cannot bear the cost of being wrong again. A rule forged in fire. The season's culminating confrontation with Quinn is more than just a reckoning with a dangerous adversary. It's an emotional exorcism. In a gripping finale sequence, Reacher corners Quinn in a derelict shipyard, the same type of location where Dominique was ambushed years prior. The parallels are intentional, with Reacher's precise, assumption-free strategy unfolding like a chess master correcting a decades-old blunder. When the dust settles and Quinn lies defeated, it's Duffy who voices what audiences have come to understand across the season. You didn't just want justice, did you? You wanted a clean slate. Reacher doesn't respond. He doesn't have to. His silence speaks volumes. Why this origin story matters. Erodes, too little, and the hero feels flat. Reacher,